You get anything?
Sip the juice. I got enough to go around.
What up, Hepsters? Moncell, Munceezy, another Intangible Roots. Quite different this time. So, I got an amazing special guest with me, and we're going to chop it up. So, let me get right to this. This person here now, when we talk about dance culture, when we talk about the funk, when we talk about the science of rhythm and moving through the human body, you cannot tell that story without mentioning this young man's name. Who is it? You gotta wait. Born Timothy Earl Solomon in Fresno, California, Pete didn't just learn poppin', he helped define it. As a first generation member of the legendary Electric Boogaloos, he was part of the crew that took the street dance style born in the neighborhoods and put it on the world stage. From Soul Train to television to arenas around the globe. This man whose body helped translate the language of funk music into motion, a dancer who helped introduce the world to popping, turning muscle contractions and rhythm into entirely new vocabulary of movement, and the world took notice. From working with the king of pop, Michael Jackson, to appearing in films and music videos and stages across the planet, Pete's influence runs through generations of dancers, from the pioneers of hip hop to kids learning their first hit or wave today. We're not just talking about the legend. Today, we're talking about the man. The brother who learned from his brother, Boogaloo Sam, the artist who helped build a culture that changed the global dance forever, and a human being who has lived through the rise, the quiet years, the resurgence, and the responsibility of carrying history on his shoulders. So if you love funk, if you love hip hop culture, if you love the art of movement, get ready because we're sitting down with one of the architects of it all, Hepsters, the one and only Poppin Pete.
Yes. Oh, that's how the opening go. That's dope. That's dope.
So when people say the name Poppin Pete, they think about the legend of Poppin. Who is Timothy Solomon when the music stops and nobody's watching?
Oh man. And I quite often use that distinction of Timothy Earl Solomon versus my persona Poppin Pete. Timothy Earl Solomon, born in Fresno, 1961, grew up with, 7 siblings, living in a 3-bedroom home. Like the middle child, shy, I was creative, but it was the shyness overpowered, my drive to do so. So, dance has always been, and music always been the outlet for me. So, but before I became Pop Pete, Timothy was just this young, skinny kid, grew up in the, in the mid 60s and 70s, the backdrop of the civil rights movement, me being the first generation of 1971 of school integrations, getting taken out of my all black school, bus to all white school, that whole trauma in a sense,
Right.
But Timothy is just this kid that, wanted to be a fireman.
Okay.
When I was young, and dance was just a part of the community. It's part of the house. It was part, but
it's just a way of life.
Yeah, it's just a way of life. So, but Timothy Solomon Earl, one wanted to be a fireman, but just, just be normal in a sense, in that case, but because dance was never a thing of a career choice.
Right. Everybody danced.
Yeah. Everyone danced. Everybody had, dancers and singers on the block. And I was not the best dancer in the house.
Okay.
Sam and my sister Farabelle who was a year older than me, were the ones that I looked up to.
Right.
And a little kid, not a little kid, he was a year older than me, this guy in Fresno named Little Luke, who was a James Brown enthusiast. His mom made his costume that matched James Brown. He had his own band. Little Luke was was singing live, and he was like 10, 11 years old. And that's the first person I did a talent show with. Me and him dancing off a James Brown song.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so he was probably 7, I was 6.
That's like a local talent show.
That was a local talent show in Fresno.
At school or?
And I was just at a hall. It was like a big thing that happens, every year it'll be fashion show,
right.
In the
like
Black
community center.
Yeah, community center. They're going to have a fashion show, then a talent show. And, that's my first time, experienced the stage.
Nice.
And,
nice.
It was great.
And you just been, so did the bug bite you then?
The bug kind of, I say, yes, it was more of, oh, this is what we do anyway.
Right.
So it wasn't like, oh, I know when I grow up going to be this.
Right.
And yeah, I've been in like many talent shows, school talent shows. When we got bused to the all white school, then that was in elementary. Then when junior high school, I did a show with my sister, who, again, she's the better dancer. We all can dance, but
right.
she was the one that I looked up to, but she didn't want me in her all girl dance crew that was going to do it. And she was in the 8th grade. I was in the 7th grade. And I told my mom, like she won't let me be in the dance with her. And my mom came in the room when they was in there practicing our bedroom, said, put him in the group and let him dance with you. And then my sister was so mad. She reluctantly let me in, but she was pissed. And she told me, nope. She gave me a specific part I was going to come out when we did it to Ohio Players on Fire. And she said, the breakdown is where you come out. I didn't do none of the routine. I thought I was going to get to do the routine and shuffle and do all this.
You just had a solo.
I had a solo.
So from jump, you was already front.
Man. And the thing is, I was thinking, what should I do? Because I loved now at this time, Soul Train was on 72, it's about 72, 73. Loved the robot. So I used to practice the robot. And when she, in the practice, she said, okay, now you come out. But I didn't do the robot. I came out just party dancing what I knew.
Right.
Until I got to the actual night of the performance. And when that part, I was backstage and they stopped and pointed to the side of the stage. I came out and my robot position, did the whole little thing, shuffled back off. Because again, she ain't let me do the routine.
Right.
They finished. They carried on. They finished the show, bowed, crowd stood, gave us a standing ovation. Then we start. I heard a word that I didn't understand at the time, which now it's a French word. Encore, encore, encore. And we're going. And then the principal said, they want you guys to do it again. Had the phonograph.
Right.
He put the needle back on the song. My sister and them came out, did it again. But my sister thought the cheering was for everything. The crowd is watching. Yeah. The breakdown. Here I come. The crowd. Ah! I remember my sister looked, because they posed. She looked at me like, with the most like, what the hell? They cheering for you. This is the only reason why they want us to do it again.
Right.
And then from that day forth, went back to school and they started calling me the mechanical boy.
All right, now mechanical boy.
Yeah, but I didn't like that.
Oh.
I said I was doing a robot. Teachers, oh my God, last night at the show, oh my God, the mechanical boy you did. It's not called the mechanical boy, it's called the robot. Oh, I was hot. That was my first taste of defending the culture. Right. Y'all getting it right. So yeah, that's hot.
So now is this in the school?
This was Sierra Junior High School in Fresno.
Okay, this is not the school you were bused to.
The school I was bused to was elementary, Wishon, which is, so when I left there 6th grade, because junior high started 7th grade, because it was only 7th and 8th grade, and originally in junior high, 9th freshman in high school back then.
Right.
So 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 4 years of high school, 2 years of junior high. So 7th and 8th. So since the school was right next, the elementary school was in the thing. So we had to go to this, even though we're still coming from what we call west side of Fresno, which is the black community side, and which they take it, and at that time they didn't provide the black kids in our community a school bus. We had it in the because they gave us bus tokens to get us on. We got to get on public transportation at 6 a.m. in the morning. And this is when I was in elementary. Also, elementary was, so I'm in the 4th grade. I'm getting on the bus with, my friends, we get on the bus with grown people going to work on a public bus to get us. So we got to leave at 6 a.m. in the morning to get to school by maybe like 7:45. School starts at 8, get my homeroom. Yeah. Then and then after school, it's 3 o'clock, get up back on the bus and go back to the west side. And if you miss the bus or you lose your bus token, which happened to me. I missed the bus. Me and my friend, this is elementary. We had to walk home because we didn't have any money to call our parents. Right. And we walked.
There ain't no cell phones back then.
No, it was public phones. We couldn't, and the 3 of us walked 2.5 hours. And I'm in the 5th grade.
It's crazy.
And I got my butt whooped when I got home.
Oh yeah, I have very similar stuff. I won't get into that. So there was a period. This is sort of jumping ahead. So there was a period where Poppin Pete wasn't the global celebrated, not the way you are now. Mm-mm. And so what were you doing during those quiet years, and how did you keep going when the culture wasn't in the spotlight?
Well, the thing is, the fortunate thing about when I started learning Poppin and Boogaloo and all the stuff from Sam, it's 1978. So, I was still in high school. I was 16. I just I was in the 10th grade and I was getting ready to go to 11th grade. I started learning popping in March of 1978. Pretty much from the beginning, March we practiced. Then we heard about we were trying to get discovered. Right. That's a whole nother. We went to Hollywood, caught the bus. It's thinking somebody would see us dance on the corner. We see a limo. We'd dance in front of the limo. Could be a bar mitzvah, funeral, whatever. We don't know. Somebody in there could be famous. And we walked on Wilshire Boulevard thinking somebody. And then we even went to buildings that and pushing the marquee that said agency. We just pushing it in till we got discouraged, and we was on our way back home, and this lady saw us sitting on the bus bench, and I think I had on a uniform, which was Sam's from his original group in Fresno, Electric Boogaloos Lockers. Right. That's the original group. And the lady asked, "You guys are dancers?" And we and then we say, "Oh yeah." And she said, "What dance you guys do?" We said, "Oh, we do this dance called Poppin and Boogaloo and all that." She's like, "What is that?" And then remember Sam said, "Pete, show her." So I was sitting on the bus bench and I got up and I started, key. She said, "Oh my God. Oh, Jeff Kutash needs to see you guys." And we said, "Who is Jeff Kutash?" He's a producer of dance. He's doing this big dance show in Lake Tahoe, and he need to see you guys. And he said his office is in the building, right? That the bus bench was in front of, but he wasn't there. Right. This was the weekend anyway. So everything happened quickly. The original question, yes, everything. It wasn't a downtime because 16. By the time we got in the show, I had only been practicing. Sam had shown us for 5 months. We went to the audition in August, got the job, and was doing our first professional job in October on stage. Oh wow! So was on stage here? No, I was in Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe. It was Lake Tahoe. We was there. It was a month and a half gig, and I was still. And this is the summer now, but I have to go back to school. And I begged my mother, I want to do this, and my mother. I told her, I said, I'll go back to school and when this thing is over, but I never did. But that's one of the things that kind of it bothers me because she let me go. Because what my father was, he was cool with it, but it was up to mama.
Right.
Mama had to say yes.
Right.
So that's our first gig, 1978, Lake Tahoe. Me only popping for 5 months, and I started making money. I made a whopping $450 a month before taxes. No, that was it was terrible. We got bamboozled. We didn't know nothing. We just want to be on stage, right? So, 400 man said, "Here's a contract." My mother had to sign it because I was underage.
Right.
It said $450 a month. Again, yeah, I thought, I even said after we did the audition, it was on Larry B Studio, still there. So La Cienega, right by the mall, the Beverly Center.
Mm-hmm.
Got outside, we happy jumping around. They said we got the contract. It says $450 a month before taxes. Plus we had to pay for our own lodging. Ooh. So at the end of the month, at the end of that whole gig, I left home with, my father gave me $20. I came home with 40.
So wait, it was only a month gig?
It was only a month gig. Yeah, because we got paid. I maybe a month and a half, whatever. Maybe what was it, October? Yeah, maybe 2 months.
Yeah, if it had been a week, that'd have been
no, dude. We had to pay $450. Tax come out. Now it's down to $332.
Right.
$100 out of that $120 go to our rent that we had to pay for our own lodging. Plus we had to pay for our own way food. Plus we had to pay for our own way back and forth to the.
How far was the venue?
If we call it a taxi cab, it was probably like a 10-minute taxi ride. When we didn't have any money, when we ran out of money, we walked to and back. So that's a 45-minute walk up and back to get to the show. And the show ends at 11 at night. So we walking back in the middle of the night at 12 midnight to get back to the lodge.
Oh, so that was a lesson. That was your real first lesson.
That was the real first lesson.
What this business is.
That's what the business. But the whole thing was we didn't complain because we didn't know no better.
Right.
We were like, hey, see how many people clapped and stood up for us at the show?
Right.
That's what it was for us. It wasn't about, we weren't going to bring a bunch of money home. Like I had a girlfriend at the time. I bought a Saucony, might be one of them 10-cent rings. I say, oh, I bought you a ring, right. A promise ring. I promise that we're never gonna get married.
So what was the gap between that and seeing a difference in like the shift and whatever, like the opportunity?
It went on for a couple of years because we stayed with Jeff Kuchash for a few years. And again, I don't want to knock the guy because he, of course he just took advantage. We didn't know.
Right.
Even if I see him today, I was still thank him for giving us the opportunity to be on stage. Right.
Yeah.
But there was no bunch of money. Like it was opportunities. We did a bunch of TV shows. But you get union scale, which is at that time you may walk away, maybe it's like $350 because we're a specialty act.
Right.
In the days in the union, dancers wasn't the high level. Dancers were down with the jugglers, the dog trainers, the clowns on the pay level for it to be AFTRA because we was doing TV. So we didn't get a lot of money. It was opportunities. It was the, we got a lot of, hood clout. We became,
right.
Ghetto celebrities.
Yeah.
We on these TV shows. Even the first time we on Soul Train, we didn't get paid. No, first time we didn't have a dressing room for us.
Oh wow.
We changed in the bathroom.
Yeah, I think that was like the highlight of Don saying once they got the group and they got going that they actually had a dressing room, they got paid.
Yeah. The second time we was on there, we got a dressing room with our name on it and we got paid union scale. But the first time was like, oh, they wanted us on the show, but it was like, oh, you guys just come in as dancers. And even though we was featured. But
is this the one y'all were wearing? Was it black?
The very first one was the black and silver.
Yeah, black and silver. Yeah.
Yeah. And the second one was the multicolored ones. But
and so what was the reaction, you, family, friends, and how did this happen? Getting noticed by MJ?
Oh man, I just told this. I was just talking about this with my friend. Because I was talking about it with Flowmaster because he asked me the same thing. He said, "Did you, was Mike big then?" I said, "Yeah, Mike was at his beginning of. I mean, in the midst of his
His
Mike
solo,
being Mike,
yeah.
yes. But a few years before that, many people, because now they know we in the industry. Oh, you're on Soul Train. So you had to have seen Michael Jackson or met Michael Jackson.
Right.
Nah, man, but one day I'm a dance with, not even knowing. I'm just woofing because, they gonna see us on Soul Train. They gonna see us other shows. They gonna know that we gonna went and do some little tours. So I was bound. I'm thinking I'm gonna meet Michael Jackson somewhere on the streets or in the studio. So when we got that call, which is now, this is around 1983.
Okay.
83. And we got that telephone call, and that out, and the crazy thing about that phone call, because we was at Jeffrey Daniels' house. We was living with Jeffrey Daniels at the time up in Hollywood Hills.
Is this the whole group?
This not even Electric Boogaloos. It's now we're in a singing group with he created a dance group called Eclipse.
Okay.
So it's me, Skeet, Robot Dane, Casper, girl named Brenda, Cooley, and Sugar Pop.
Okay.
We all living, not everyone, just, and we got this call, the phone run. And I picked up and I said, hello. And they said, oh, we looking for the Electric Boogaloos. And we heard, and that we got this number that we said, yeah, this is, we, some of us stay here. I mean, at this place. And the lady said, yeah, I'm calling from MJJ Productions. And I'm on the phone and everybody's, saying like, I said, oh, wait. She said, I'm from Michael Jackson, MJJ. I said, I didn't know Michael's middle name was Joseph. So I'm going MJ. I went, hey man, somebody on here talking about from some MJJ production, Michael Jackson. MJ, where did you get the J at? Not knowing. Got back on the phone. Yeah, now I'm thinking somebody pranking us. Yeah, so what's up? Dada. Oh yeah, well, Michael's doing this video. He wants you guys to be in it. It's called Beat It. Which I didn't like that song. And then I went like this. Oh, okay, hold on. Man, somebody wanted to tell me with some being Michael Jackson Beat It video. I hung up. There's somebody playing a prank.
Right.
There's no Star 69. There's no call. Nothing. You don't see because it's back in the day.
Right.
Hello? Yeah. Oh, something happened in the connection. Oh, yeah. So, and then she said, yeah, he wants you guys to do. I said, yeah. And she said, well, who am I speaking to? I said, oh, it's Poppin Pete. She said, Poppin Pete, hi. I said, who is it? This is Cheryl's son. I said, oh, that's the Korean girl from the Soul Train who was at the taping of our first time being on it.
Right.
So I went, Cheryl? She said, yeah, I work for MJJ Production. So I went like, wait up. Hey, this is real. This is real. This is Cheryl. She's on the phone. Oh my God. This is real. Yeah, it was, yeah. So what's going on? Yeah. Oh yeah, you want you guys to be in the video? You guys available? Da da da. I said, yeah, we available. Everybody trying to be, what? So how much you guys charge per day? Excuse me. How much you charge? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say $500 each a day. So it's almost a week and a half practice and rehearsal and shoot. $500? Oh, okay, that's no problem. Okay, wait. She said $500. Yeah, we get $500 each a day. What?
Did you say each?
Yeah. Then somebody said, we should have asked for more. I said, now you want to say, so I said, thank you. So that's how we got in and to do Beat It. But we was told that he was looking for us.
Mm-hmm.
And they had in them days, ain't no cell phones, ain't no email. You had to know somebody. Right. So somebody said, I think they live with Jeffrey. So they called around and got Jeffrey's home number. Yeah. And that's how we happened to be there and I happened to pick up.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Because that's the whole him getting a hold of Jeffrey to do the backside.
That was before. That's 1980.
Right.
So that's a couple years. Again, this is Casper. that whole thing. Yeah, he got in contact with him, but Jeffrey was on tour with Shalimar.
Right.
So
Casper.
they said who's the other guys? He told him, and then and Casper was in the Sesame Street live show. It was him, Cooley, Sugar Pop. Sugar Pop was like 16 or so at the time, and I think Casper's mom called. I mean, they called his house, got the number. Then she had to call the production to tell Cat, hey, call home, da da da. And that's how it all happened.
Right.
So that was 1980. So Michael actually learned the backslide in the moonwalk at the same time.
Right.
That day, because Cooley ended up going. Because even though they asked for Casper, but Cooley, also went. Because I think I was told Cooley taught him how to do the moonwalk going around and the floating original. And then Cash showed him the backslide. And then he mixed it up. And then that's where we are today. But yeah, it was, that's how we got into Beat It. And
that must have been a crazy time. Like, I don't know. It was in the air because, the Lockers doing their thing, y'all coming in doing their thing.
Yeah.
But just from Michael.
Like that. That's Bill Bray. And he went out. Next thing you know, the door opened. Smoke, fog, and the lights started flashing. And Mike walked in. And it's like he was floating. And I'm sitting on the piano. Because I was over there playing the knuckle thing.
Right.
And I looked and the door opened. Hands were still on the keys. Mouth was open like that. He walks in, and I'm falling. What? I said, why is the lights flashing? Actually, it wasn't flashing. It was all in my head because that's what it looks like. This looked like this man was literally walking on clouds. Because I've gonna see this man on television videos all my life since I was 8 years old.
Right.
He walked through that door. He didn't seem real to me. I was like this. Everybody in the room like this. And he came in. He's like, oh, I'm so glad you guys are doing my video. I think you guys are incredible dancers. And oh my goodness. Just giving us love. And
the fact that he knew who you were.
Yeah. And because that's what I said. Cheryl's song, he actually said, I want to, those guys was on the Soul Train, Electric Boogaloos, and then the other people. So that's why they asked for us. And then he was probably 30 minutes, talking. Yeah. And he came to everybody like, yeah, I'm so glad. And he came to me. I'm still stuck on a damn piano like this. As he talking all day long, he sat next to me on the piano bench, and said, Pete, you play piano? I'm like this. I couldn't even say no. I'm looking at this man. He was just like that. He went, because it was so funny. He's like, hey, he stops, like, he ain't talking. He's a mute. What's going on with him? Oh, dude, I was in a cloud.
I'll bet.
Yeah. So, and that's for Beat It, So,
what was a story, or, I mean, maybe that was it. I was just thinking of a moment that would surprise people with your relationship with Michael that, like, you never really shared publicly.
Well, I've shared I've shared most of everything. Again, now there's so many things. Even on the Beat It filming, of the thing, he would actually call his security would come and get me, Sugar Pop, and Robot Danny. Hey, Michael, I want you guys to come to his trailer. So we walk over there. He's in the window of his trailer. Then we walk up. He said, hey guys, I want you guys to dance for my friends. And we going, like, who? And we turn. Barbara Streisand, Quincy Jones, George Lucas, who played Prince Leia?
Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher, all sitting there. And we going like, huh? Like, he said, oh, he's talking to them also. Right. Hey guys, these guys are incredible. No music. We just start, me, Dane, and Sugar Pop started dancing, popping, and he's in the window going, "Oh, I told you guys, these guys are incredible. I told you guys." We were looking like, and then we finished, and I remember Barbara Streisand, Elizabeth Taylor said, "Oh my God, you guys are so good. Oh my God, he talks about you guys. Oh, he was telling us about you guys." And that's how,
Wow.
and I think we did it twice. So whoever the next round of celebrities that come to the filming, go get them. And further, the second time I started saying, are we just some dance monkeys that come around here?
Right.
Go get them to dance. But I understood but because he was in the window, literally just like, "Oh, I told you guys," like pointing at them to make sure they paying attention to what we're doing. So that for me, that was an affirmation. Like, dude, like this man who is the biggest star saying,
right,
look at these three dancers.
So in hindsight, do you feel y'all that was a moment to capitalize on? Like the fact that y'all are, like, he is celebrating y'all and in front of these major stars. Was there anything to capitalize on?
No, I mean it just gave a affirmation of
Y'all in the right path.
Yeah, we're on the right path. Like this guy who's the biggest star in the world, in the planet, universe, recognized us as this and gave us so much love and respect. That was better than the pay.
Right.
That was better than, like, that moment was better than being in the video, because no one else of all the dancers that on that lot, nobody went over there but us. He only called, and we can be just sitting around, a break, and next you know, here come one of the security who we knew good. He said, "Y'all know, Mike want to see y'all again."
Right.
All right, so that was really, really good. So those moments, and it's all, man, the Mike, me, and the opportunity that now in '84 I got to teach Mike privately, and I got to sit down one-on-one with him before, because this time Poppin Taco started working with him. So, but Taco talking about Poppin Pete, the one who taught me how to pop, da da da. So he said, "Oh, okay, I want to learn. If you this, I want to learn from Pete too."
Right.
So MJJ production called me. Now I know who they are.
No hanging up.
I know how they're hanging up now. "Oh, Mike wants you to take some lessons from you," and I said, "Okay." And they told me then he called 2 days later, say, "Oh, well, Michael want to have a sit down with you one-on-one, just you and him. So this is the night he wants you to, this is the schedule. It's at the Havenhurst house in Encino, so the family home. This is way before he had Neverland." Drove up there in my little beat up family car, came through the gates, security, Poppin Pete. "Oh yeah, Michael's expecting you." Right. Went on up. They came, the staff came, went in there. He said, "Oh, Michael, put me in a room almost like this, where the chairs was the high back chairs, and the room was where and display of glass of some of the awards, the Jackson 5 platinum albums, the Jackson's platinum albums, so. Then on the wall there's Thriller, and at the time it says Thriller 11 million copies sold and going strong. And I'm looking at this thing like, whoa. So now this is in the midst of him being huge. Yeah. Sits down, he walks in, "Hey Pete," because again we did Beat It. Okay. They said this is before Captain EO. Sat there and he talked to me like we talking.
Right.
So, "Pete, when did you start dancing? How did you start dancing? Who teach you that?" "My brother, that." He said, "How was your family? The structure then?" He just want to.
Yeah. He probably comparing like structure.
And he was just talking, and then I asked 2 questions that day, because there was a rumor. Because I'm Long Beach, Compton, Linwood. That people used to say, "Man, I see Michael Jackson in the neighborhood. I see him drive, and ain't no Michael Jackson, no dang hood being." So this man is sitting there. So let me ask this man,
right,
"Mike, there's a rumor going around, because I'm from Long Beach and Compton and all that you was seen in the hood. He went just like this. It's true. I said, I want to get this. Wait. He said, yeah, I sometimes I put on the disguise or I try to disguise myself and I would drive down to, because I wanted to get a grip on my community, who I am, get it. I didn't just want to read about it. I wanted to see it.
Right.
He said, so often I would drive. I said, by yourself? He said, a few times I drove by myself and sometimes I had a driver and we would drive around, it'd be South Central or anywhere in the where the black community is. Because I wanted to make sure I stayed in touch. And I said, you just broke this was a myth for us. We didn't, and I tell people there ain't no way. He said, yeah, I've done it all.
Crazy.
So it was cool. I said, dang, Mike, you cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd have had words.
No, man. And then, then I got even bolder than that.
Oh, yeah.
I asked this man, because he talking to me for this 2 hours, and he started, so Pete, so how's I say, wait, on this side of the brain is going, this man's voice is deep. On this side of the brain is going, why the hell I ain't?
That's the confirmation we need right
Hey,
now.
Mike, can I ask you a question? I called him Mike, not Michael. He said, yeah, Pete. Why your voice deep right now? Mike, I'm 20. Mike is like 23.
Right.
Why your voice not high? And he giggled. I guess he must have thought like, this man is bold, because I was like, because it my brain could not function. I'm going like I'm ready for it was like
right.
So
Who is this?
So how's when you're doing live? I'm going like, and he said, came out of his mouth. He said the reason why I talk at a high pitch in public is because I want to be non-intimidating. Because he thought his voice was too deep and too demanding or too forceful. So he said, I softened my voice because I want to be non-intimidating.
Wow.
And I was like, and I went, oh, okay.
That's crazy. I mean, I've heard like, and more since his passing.
Yeah, people are
like, yeah, he had a deep voice, or his last.
No one asked like I did. They only said it to the point. It's the game. Many people have because people thought I was lying.
Right.
And now, and this is 84 now, because this after I did the movie Breaking. So, but people are going like, oh, you ain't talk to no Michael. Oh, you didn't ask no Michael that. So when all these other people start coming out, but they say, yeah, they spoke to him.
Yeah.
And they heard it. They heard it. No, they heard him talking.
But they wouldn't ask it.
They didn't ask. Yeah. I asked. I got dates, because if they had a answer, they would have said, he would have told them the same thing he told me.
Right.
They never say, oh, but he told me. I asked him why. And I asked, why? And he said, this is what he told me.
So it wasn't so much for his singing to maintain his voice. It was more like,
it was he didn't say, he straight said, I want to be non-intimidating. He didn't go, I wanted to try to sound like I was when I was young. Of course, his singing voice is going to be, soprano or whatever, higher keys. He got a signature sound. He knows that.
Right.
But when I'm hearing him just talk like we talk, his voice was probably just a little bit above how I'm talking now. Wow. And there is him on records singing deep.
Yeah, I've heard him.
And I thought it wasn't him. I didn't know that until like 10 years ago. Some of the records, they said, that's my voice. I said, well, I'm not surprised, but I didn't know it was him at the time.
Right.
But Mike, yeah, he was really transparent with me. Like he would really, like there's things that even we did Captain Neo. This is 80, because of that day, he told me, he said, I got a project that's going with this is a 3D movie, and I want you guys to be a part of it. This is in 84.
Right.
He said it's happening next year, and he called us to do that. He said, I want you guys to do, and he says, it's a new technology of 3D, and this is him telling me before, like no other dancer knew this. Right. I got the privy to, he's like, and it's going to be big. It's a big production. I'm going, but I couldn't fathom like how big
Right,
it
right.
was.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So, and then when he came, he called us. But the thing about him, the rehearsal, I mean, the time I did the private, so that's the next following weekend. Go now. This is go. I arrived again now, and I had my car had was broke.
Right.
I had to borrow my sister-in-law boyfriend's motorcycle. I had never rode a motorcycle on the freeway,
Oh.
so I had to from Compton all the way to Encino. So
Yeah, it's a stretch.
scared. I've never been on the freeway I'm just like paranoid. But I gotta get to Michael.
Right.
I ain't catching no cab. I ain't no bus. The fastest transportation. I said, hey, is it Paul? His name was Fred. Fred, can I borrow your motorcycle? I can go. He said, you know how to ride? I said, I know how to ride. I've never been on, and I didn't know how to
You told him that?
Huh?
You told him that? You never been on the highway? On the freeway?
Michael?
No, Fred.
Yeah, I told him.
Okay.
I never been on the freeway. He said, be careful. I got there, pulled up, and Michael, I pulled up and he came out. He said, you ride it? You can ride? I said, yeah. But I said it in a way like
Right.
I'm a professional with it. I'm an expert.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I can ride. Knowing what booty was tight on the freeway, cars, I'm like scared. And it was like a 450. It was a big bike.
Okay.
But got there, and Mike's like, okay, I want to show you, before we start dancing, let me show you stuff. When they're in this recording studio, where he did a lot of his demos and a lot of his work on Off the Wall and Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, oh, yeah, Quincy Jones, let me take you upstairs. And, it was a big room over the garage. When you come, you park. So I walked up there, he opened the door, walk in. I'm looking at these glass case. And it was about 5. Each case inside was the sequence jackets and gloves to match. Some he has never worn. He said, "Oh," I said, "Whoa!" It was a red, white, and blue one, Star Spangled Banner one. He said, "Oh yeah, all black one, all white, yellow, red, and another color, green." He said, "Oh yeah, they just make them for me, but I've never worn none of these. I just put them encased in the glass or display." And that was and they got the light shine down.
Right.
I said, "Ooh," and I said, "Those is dope." Go in the room. There's murals all on the wall. I guess it's the family when him and Marlon was in the bathtub naked, and
Right.
Janet Little and all these
family
things.
stuff.
And it's this nice big room. And he said, "Oh, let me show you this other room." And we go across the room, go downstairs, open up this door. Down in that room is most of the Jackson 5 memorabilia clothes sitting on a rack. The 1970s with the shingles and the polka dots and the stripes, and he said, "Oh yeah, this one is mine." He said, "Look how little I was." And I said, and it was just he was probably like 10.
Right.
Little. He said, "Just imagine we had to dress like this. The 70s was crazy." I said, "Yeah, the 70s, polka dots and stripes."
Right.
Like, what the hell? But it worked then.
Right.
He was so amused about it. He was just like, and we started working.
Man, I was like, can I get one of these outfits?
Dude, that's worth millions.
Right?
And he was just like, it was just a massive room, with just all their memorabilia. They had posters and stuff. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I come in here and just sometime and just reminisce," but and he was just happy saying, "You got to see this other stuff." Like, woo!
Like, that's surreal.
That's surreal. And then to that whole day before we started dancing was a trip, because I asked him, said, "What are we going to practice?" He said, "Oh, let's go. We go in this room. We walk down the hallway, turn us up hallway, and it's the arcade room, pinball machines, all this stuff."
That's what y'all
going,
heard?
yeah, I'm going like, I'm a pinball guy.
All right.
Should I dance or should I play? I asked this man, "Can I play?" Staying professional. "Oh, this is crazy, Mike. Wow." So I'm looking over, and I kind of looked to the left, and I went, "Is that a Pac-Man had just come out 1 week in the arcades. He had a Pac-Man machine in his house.
Wow.
He said, I said, that's Pac-Man. He said, oh yeah, they sent it to me. He said, you know how to play? I said, no, this just came out. It just barely got to the arcades.
Right.
He said, oh, you can play it if you want. I said, I don't know. I didn't know how to play. I'm like, no, you got a Pac-Man machine.
Right.
Right there, man. He act like he's nonchalant. I need to see
Living a whole other life.
a whole nother life, man. And yeah. And we rehearse. Now we practice with no radio. No music.
No music.
He don't have no music.
He
don't have a big system. He had no gigantic speakers like I thought he would.
Right.
We're in an arcade room going, Mike, where's the radio? Can you bring the radio? Okay. No, man. I'm on a motorcycle. What do you mean?
Y'all just get it in.
And this is the day of cassettes.
Right.
Okay, he said, wait, okay, hold on. He went out, called the staff. Could you bring a boombox or whatever?
Right.
Cool. Waiting. We still talking. I'm looking at all the machines. Next thing the staff come in, brought the
little shoulder radio.
You could put it on your shoulder. It was that damn small. I'm going like, hey Mike, you got some music? Pete, you didn't bring any music? Like, dude, I'm just gonna have some cassettes. I didn't bring a tape deck. So why would I have cassettes? It's in my pocket. I got the greatest hits of Zap, really. I said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I said, we're gonna practice to a radio station, AM, 1580 KD, which is now FM,
right.
AM. He had never heard of the station. I said, so I tuned it in, and the radio jocks is talking. It's commercial.
Right.
Then they play the music, and he going, what radio station is this? I said, it's called 1580 KD. He said, I've never heard of this one. I said, what? That's the black urban station of the hood.
Right.
That is the hood damn radio station. Never heard of it. Whatever music came on, I started dancing to. Commercial, we got to stop. Then I'm just kind of like, practice this. Whatever song came on, if it's fast, we dancing to it. Radio, I taught him 2 radio songs. Whatever they played, I danced to it till it got too much. And then the commercials along, I said, man, I'm gonna cut it off. And I started going like this. Just follow me. I started going like this. And he was looking at me. I said, he said, P, why you make the noise? That's cool. I said, keep it rhythm. I'm making beat or, trying to make a sound to keep the rhythm. You know what happened on Smooth Criminal, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because he had never, and again, people gonna say, oh, you just saying that now because he ain't here. No. I was there. He asked me. No, I did not. It's just how black people we do. We make the sound.
Right.
It's not that he's not black and that he wouldn't. People say, well, he's black. He should have known. No, he didn't know. So when I'm making these sounds, and he used it. He used it. And people, and I say, I saw that video, I went like that, huh? He used the sounds that I did. I was going there. He was like, oh, hey, that's cool.
Did you ever talk to him after that?
Nope. We never talked about it. I did Captain EO after that. And I never mentioned it. Yeah. I never brought it up. The thing about and this is I'm trying to get into because I have so many stories about Mike, but this is one of my moments for me that trip. So I said, man, I'm thirsty. Hey, go in the kitchen, get in the refrigerator, get anything you want. So I went on down, go in the kitchen, open a big big Coca-Cola. I said, I thought they do Pepsi.
Pepsi, right?
Got the Coke. Came back in the arcade room. Was like, I literally looked at him and did this. And he went there. He said, Catherine, she don't like Pepsi.
His mom, yeah.
Yeah, she like Coke. But at this time, I'm thinking she didn't like the taste.
Right.
I totally forgot. Pepsi when he got his hair burnt, so she hates the company.
Yeah.
At that time, I thought, oh, she don't like the taste of Pepsi. And Coca-Cola is her preference.
Right.
I didn't figure that out until about 10 years after. I said, Oh, that's what he meant.
Right.
He said, yeah, she don't like Pepsi. And he kind of got said, I didn't put it two and two together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So no, it's crazy.
Yeah, I could probably sit here all day and listen to you tell Michael. It's one person I wish I would have met. I want to see him. I saw him perform though.
Yeah.
I saw him perform
Yeah.
live in '84 in
Wow.
DC.
Oh, you saw it, man.
And I don't know if you remember these. Remember, Playboy had these black shoes, and the bottoms were like this soft rubber.
Yeah.
I danced holes in at the
concert.
At the concert because it was gravel. And after the concert was over, my family told me after the concert was over, somewhere I got a picture around here of us. It's down there at that concert. The
shoes.
dude, there's just that rubber,
Yeah.
and I'm on gravel like rocks, and they, I don't know if this is true or not. I had to ask them, but this is what they told me. They said that was on the screen.
Wow.
Because after the concert, I had a huge gap. Like I was a Michael Jackson nut. Like my bedroom, from the bed to the ceiling, every wall was all Michael Jackson pictures, photos, Jet magazine, Ebony, everything. I had one picture by the light switch of Kim Fields. Every other picture was Michael.
Damn.
And I had the hair, I had the suits, I had the glove, I could dance, I could do his whole routine. And I rocked out after that concert. They still had the music playing. And I had this huge gallery of people, and I danced. I couldn't dance no more. And I literally danced holes in my shoes. Like 2 and 3 holes.
That's some MJ love right there. So, tear up your shoes, man.
And they go to school with a whole Beat It outfit on.
Oh, of course.
They clown me.
Oh, of course they did.
I didn't care.
Oh, man.
And I had a Jerry Curl mohawk.
Oh, man. Same. I had the Jerry Curl mohawk. I had the Beat It jacket. Wearing it in the summer, it's 120 degrees. Right. No, I didn't care.
It's the guy got a rhinestone glove on, but mine wasn't packed with rhinestones.
No, it's like that. It's missing something, but it proves a point. Right. I'm trying to do this. Yeah.
Oh, good time. So listen, there's a couple more questions actually. I ask you. When it comes to focusing on you and Poppin, when it comes to you and Poppin, what would you say happens in your body and mind before the movement even appears?
I become one with the music. I am a rhythm mechanic in IK. That's how I'm starting it's a clothing line I'm doing called Rhythm Mechanic.
Nice.
So
y'all heard that here, folks.
Yeah, you heard that here. I just made it up last week, so I patented it means copyrighted it. But when I started learning dance, even when I was young, in the '60s, '70s, listening to the radio, you pay close attention to rhythms. Rhythm plus rhythms is all around. As rhythms is all around us as Black people. My mother cleaned the house to music. Black people, we speak in rhythm. Our gestures is in time, in rhythmatic timing. Even the old pimp walk,
right,
back in rhythm. So, understanding that from a natural point of view, when it came to popping, even though the technique of popping, learning and foundation was hard. Yeah, I had to learn how to contract my muscles still. But the one thing that I understood is keeping in time. Understand polyrhythmics, which I didn't know the word at the time. I just understood that I can bounce off the snare to the hi-hats to the bass to the guitar, the keyboards, and even the vocals of the singer. So I prided myself after I understood the dance in a fundamental way, technique way, is to become one with music, to become a dance instrument. Because this is what Sam used to do to us. He used to tell us, we learning the dance. Now he said, which he didn't understand. I don't think we can say it's called music theory or whatever you want. He used to tell us, close your eyes, and he put on a song. He said, now would you tell me how many instruments are sounded in the song? So we had to sit there and concentrate to hear, because you know, hearing a song in its totality, you hear stuff, but it's the total of the song. So you hear music. So now you gotta dissect. So I had to learn, when I learned how to dissect music, and I just sit there like, we had to say, oh, it's seven sounds or in the instrument. He said, it's 8. I said, no. Snare, the song come on, we count. And he go like this. You don't hear that other sound? I said, no. And you go like that. It's this sound in the back that we didn't hear.
Yeah.
And then when he pointed it out, it was the biggest, loudest thing. Right. So that's why with my popping and how I approach music, I dissect it. And even if a song I've never heard before, which is my biggest love about music that I've known. Of course, everything I hear for the first time, but a lot of times people play stuff that I've danced to before. Right. It's easy.
Yeah.
I like songs I've never heard.
Right.
And just challenge. Yeah. But I dissect them so fast now that people go, you heard this song before? I said, never heard that song before.
Yeah, you probably got, you just know the structure of music, and so there's an expectation of where it's going. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. If it pauses, I already know, anticipate. Even if it's a microsecond, it looked like I hear it coming. So that's what the aspect of learning the foundation and the technique of the dance. It is, and I've said this at my class. I was in Saltillo, Mexico this past weekend. I said, you guys have to take music theory, understand music. Yeah, dance is, but I said, you guys are sometimes fighting the music with the physical movement where it has to become one. Right. And they were like, oh, we never thought about it like that. Yeah, you guys, because you guys don't look at yourself as a music note, dance music note. I do.
So. Yeah. Slightly different direction.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, you ain't said it yet.
No, yeah.
Hey.
So more than a partner, family.
Yes.
Could you talk a little bit about 2 things, actually? The influence that, for those that don't know, the influence of Skeeter Rabbit and him not being with us right now, not being with you right now. Like what?
Oh man. Okay. If I'm telling the full story now, everyone knows Skeeter Rabbit as my cousin, but Skeeter Rabbit's not really my cousin. We became close friends, and then the brotherhood after. The first time I met Skeet was on at a television show called Hot City. No, Kicks. We come to the studio. It's me, Dane, and Sam to perform on the show. We come into the studio. They already filming segments of the show, and we outside the studio, looking on the monitor, watching dancers. I had an audience of people dancing to DJ's music. And I see this 2 guys. They locking, jumping, doing. I see who now. I mean, I didn't know it was Skeet. This dude jumping in the air doing scissors, kicks, splits in the air, and coming down. And I'm going like, man, who was that? And I said, who was that? And it's me, Dave, Sam, Poppin Boozer, because Poppin Boozer didn't do the show, but came. So they stopped filming. All the dancers come out into the hallway where we are, and here comes this guy sweating and looking like, and he got on Stacey Adams. I remember he had on some yellow and white Stacey Adams, some yellow baggies, and a white button-down shirt tucked in, but it's all disheveled. Right. And he's just glistening with sweat and all this perspiration. I'm looking at him like, and he said, he saw us. He was like, hey, what's happening, guys? He said, oh, y'all dance on the show. You don't know who, because again, there's no pictures of us. This is before internet. So he said, oh yeah. I said, yeah, it was me and Boozer. Yeah, me, my brother and my other members is performing on the show. He said, oh, y'all get out? Y'all get out? Yeah, I said, yeah. He said, what style y'all do? I said, we do a style called Poppin and Boogaloo. Man, I heard of that style. He said, and he said, man, what's your name? I said, oh, he said, what group? Y'all in a group? I said, yeah, Electric Boogaloos. He was just like that. Man, God, I know y'all heard of y'all. Y'all Electric Boogaloos. I said, yeah. He said, what's your name? I said, Poppin. Oh, you Poppin Pete.
I can see him too.
Yeah, you said, you know how animated Skeet gets. So he's sitting there, and now he is animated.
Right.
Puppy Boozer looking at me, and I'm looking at him, because I'm going like, who is this? Who is this animated crazy dude?
Right.
He said, man, show me some Poppin. And I looked at Boozer, because I'm going like, oh, man, no, man, you dance. So we in a little hallway, me. He said, no, shit. He was like, damn. God, man. And we filmed. He in the front. Then he meet Sam.
Right.
Me, I was standoffish because I said, who is this dude? It's crazy.
Right. Right.
Him and Sam got along. Like I was like, dude, whoever this is. He started, man, dude, I'm from Compton. Gang bang, should be a gang bang. I'm like, oh hell no. The hell is this dude? So after that, I remember he had during the break, we went out to the little area we was talking, and he started telling us about what he did and where he come from. And I'm like, I'm fascinated, but I'm also like, damn, who is this dude? This dude's crazy, you know, in my head. Like, and he said, yeah. Then him and his partner Lonnie, they was in a group called the Twilight Lockers. So they did a routine. He said, man, let's show them how to do a routine. So Ski was roboting.
Right.
And then Lonnie was roboting, and he acted like he got a gun, and he was doing, and he cocked the gun, and he to Ski, and Ski was like he got hit, and he started doing this animated like
right.
whole thing like he dying,
right.
going to the floor, and I'm like this going, what the hell? But it's dope.
When he kicked it.
But he go all the way down, then he's laying flat on the ground, and he just died. And he reversed it. Came back up.
Came back to life.
And rolled back. I said, that was the most scariest dope shit I've ever seen. He killed him. He came like a lion in a rope. That's why I was like, oh, I said, he dope. I said so. And that's how that day, he asked for a ride home because he caught the bus. They caught the bus. And we had our father's family van that had back in the day, the 70s had the seats and the windows on the side.
Yep.
And he said, man, I live in Southgate, man. That's on the way to Long Beach, man. Can you drop us off? Sam was driving. I was like, I'll tell Sam to, no. Sam, yeah, I'll talk y'all. He got in the car and we became friends. Like, you know, but him and I wasn't close in the beginning. Cause I said, he crazy. I don't want to be around him. Sam was the one who connected with him faster, and him and my brother, Dick, they cut, because it was what broke the thing for me about skiing. I'm gonna get to how he started. We ride home, and there's a guy riding a bike. We was on Western Avenue. He said, my father had his work stuff in there, which he had the ruler, big wooden ruler. He had to measure. He said, he picked it up. He said, Sam, go. Sam didn't know. Sam driving. He said, Sam, kind of go over a little bit. So on the window, the bay windows on the side got the slide. He stuck his hand with the ruler out there, and the dude on the bike, he hit the dude and broke the ruler on the man's back who's riding the bike. And I went like this. Oh, hell no. For one, he just broke my daddy's damn ruler. My dad gonna say, who broke my ruler? Oh, some dude named Skeeter Rabbit. Who the hell is Skeeter Rabbit? So that's when I was like, I don't want to be around him. Every time we got his number. they would go to his house and south. They say, "Hey, we going to Skeet house." I don't want to go. I don't want to go over his house.
So how long before? How many years did it take you to like lock in?
About a few months.
Okay.
100 years. It was. He started coming to our house, and then I love his dancing, skiing, locking, and roboting was on another level. I was like, and this is the first time like seen somebody do. I mean, I seen the lockers do ski rap because I met them, Shabadoo and all them first. But the way Skeet did it, and because his name was Skeeter Rabbit, I said, "You made him Skeeter Rabbit?" No, I didn't make him Skeeter Rabbit. I did the dance, and everybody started calling me Little Skeeter Rabbit because after the original Skeeter Rabbit.
Right.
So I said, "Oh." And then he wanted to learn how to pop. He started learning from Sam. He showed me something. So he started learning. And then after that, he just kept coming to the house. And then my mother and my parents and them started taking to him. And then I met his mom. And then probably a couple of months, then I started taking to him so to hear his stories, street stories.
Yeah.
Like, the gang banging stuff and things like that. And he was from Texas and moved. So it was a fascinating, like his story is like so much like trauma and joy, and how he was brought up was crazy, man. Like people really don't know how much, that man, stuff that he went through. And then he would come and stay at our house for a couple weeks. They go back home and this and that. He just loves staying at a house because he said our home was a sanctuary for him because he just felt because it was all of us, all the dancers, we all close,
right?
We all practice every day. We all and he just started. And Ski would just be in the practice watching us. And he started learning how to do twister flex. That's all he did. And man, he just do twister flex. He'll get in the middle of the floor. That's one of the moves he first learned. They do that for about a minute and a half. And we like this. That's all he got is a twister flex. That's it. But anyway, in fast forward, he learned, and he was with us when we got discovered. So he was carrying the radio.
All right.
He was a bodyguard and carrying the radio.
Right.
But his dedication to the dance and to learning the Electric Boogaloo style, Poppin and Boogaloo and all the styles, and then he, next thing you know, it's a night. So that's like 1970. So that's 78. Then 79, he was there at Soul Train, and then from that point on, he was with us, and then he moved in, and he became not the cousin, he became the other older brother.
Right.
He's a year older than me.
Right.
So he just became, and then my kids started calling him Uncle Steve, Uncle Skeet, so he and he just became part of the family. Yeah. Like from cousins that we're taking to aunt's house, they all, that's cousin Skeet.
Yeah.
To this day, that was cousin Skeet. He fit right in. Yeah. He never wanted to go home. After that, he never left. He just stayed with us. So, and he just he worked hard, and he molded himself. Like I say, he was a great dancer before with locking and stuff. But what made him was when he started learning from us and learned from Sam, and then him and I started becoming close because he wasn't officially in the Electric Boogaloos in the beginning. He didn't get in officially until like 1997. But he's been with us. But we would do stuff. Actually, he was we had an offshoot group because all the original guys left. And then I tried to start me, Robot Day, my brother Ticket Deck, Lonnie, who was his original, and Skeet. We was together about 3 months. Then we disbanded. So it's a video of us dancing together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This is after the EB.
This is after the EB. So this is like 1981.
Okay.
So, but then he just kept going, man. And I started seeing the development, and I started like telling Sam,
right,
he's like Skeet is on another level. And then the thing about Skeet was he had his imagination. Creativity was crazy. So when he started developing his own style, feeling, the shadow boxing and the other stuff he was doing, I was like this. Oh, this dude is on another level.
Right.
And that's why we went to Japan together. So Ski, for me, his legacy. And he told me, he said, man, if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for the Solomon family and Electric Boogaloos, he said, I probably wouldn't be here. Even back then.
Right.
He said, you guys made me realize that I was something. I wanted to be something more than, where I came from.
Right.
So I was like, so that's when that's when me and Ski was like inseparable. Like that's when I started like, oh yeah. Then we became bookends. It was Pete and Ski. Like you go to Japan, Korea, all the places, it was Pete and Ski from the Electric Boogaloos.
Right.
But we bookends. You couldn't like it was the craziest thing for me to have someone who I locked in like that. Even though the original group, we was all tight, me and Ski can do a whole show just by going like this. Like we literally be on stage making up a show.
Right.
Nobody know what we doing. So, greatest, man. So again, his legacy and what he brought to the game. He was, people thought he was an enforcer. Ski was very kind. He just didn't tolerate, things. He hated bullies.
Right.
People thought Ski was a bully. Ski was not a bully. Ski actually, he told me when he was in junior high school, the bullies who was bullying people, because it's a movie called Bullies, right?
Yeah.
He lived that. People should hire him to protect them from the bigger bullies.
That makes sense.
And he would beat up everybody.
Yeah.
So
he kept the whole game in check.
He kept the whole game in check. Yeah. When I said you wasn't rolling up on the EBs, because when he was in the room, and again, he
wasn't menacing or anything like that. Like,
he let you talk until you talk yourself into one of them. And I've seen him do it many times. I've seen Skeet fight numerous of times and over the years. And I tell you this, looking into this camera, Skeet has never lost a fight back in the day that I witnessed. He never lost a fight. He was that controlled violence. People thought he was what? He thought he was Bruce Lee and Bruce Leroy and everybody else. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, can you do two more? You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Sam. So
greatest.
Being the founder of the group, it was a point before all that he was just your big brother.
Yeah.
Yep. So what was it like for you watching him create something you didn't know at the time that would eventually change dance culture around the world?
When I seen the movement that Sam was doing, because again, he called me and was telling me about this, what he was doing. I'm on the landline, cell phone. So he trying to describe to me. He said, I got this thing called Poppin in Boogaloo. Not just, I said, what is it? He's still in Fresno. I'm in Long Beach. And he said, oh, it's Poppin. You make your muscles jump and you do it. You dance with. Not a good description. And because again, trying to,
see it.
So I'm like, trying to figure out, like, jump your muscle. I'm doing all this on the phone. I'm going like, oh, really? But in my head, I say, oh, this looks stupid. I said, what's Boogaloo? He said, you make your body roll. So I'm doing this all on the phone. I'm going, that ain't the phenomenal way you talking. And then Sam come out and visit in a couple of weeks, came. And I got him, picked him from a Greyhound bus station, got to the apartment. What is Poppin? Let me see Poppin and Boogaloo. No music. Sam stood up and I said, we see Boogaloo. I said, we see Poppin. So I'm saying, you just jump your whistle. And Sam started. I said, I literally looked at him like this dude was an alien. Chin virtually or imaginary drop to the floor and like, eyes going like, what the hell is this? So after he finished, I grabbed his arm like, how you do that? I said, let me see Boogaloo. He started doing all these things. I like this. I thought his bones was rubber. I kept going. I'm touching his back. Like I thought it was soft because it was just how he was. It was just moving. Isolation. I had never seen nothing like that.
Because the only thing was locking was the big thing.
Yeah, locking.
Other than your
now locking and robot was still the prominent dance.
Right.
I said, what in the world is this? And then he started doing other stuff like Twistle Flex and Old Man. I said, dude, where does it come from? You know, and he explained all the stuff. And he said, yeah, I got a group in the Federal Electronic Boogaloo's. And he was supposed to stay for 2 weeks, and he ended up staying for a couple months, and then he ended up moving with us. And the first day I practiced, Boogaloo was over my head, how he was doing it. I didn't know, even though Poppin was too, but right. I gravitated towards the popping. Right. And I said, I want to know how to do the pop. And he was in the go, he should showing me. He said, I'm going to show you this thing, a routine called a Fresno. Because everything routine and they did had a name. Right. Title. So he said, I'm going to show you the first beginning. So this will help you with the technique because it shows you your arms, your chest, your knees snapping back, and your head. So for 6 hours, I was just in there trying to do it, and I was doing all like this. He said, no, you gotta make sure this. I was skinny, didn't have muscles. He said, but you gotta generate the power from there, your chest and all this. He says 4 places: your knee snap back, your chest, you pop your muscles in your chest and your arms and your head. And I practiced that every day. I couldn't do a move. I couldn't do that. It was just this all day long at school. I'm still in high school. So Sam was for me to watching dance. I should get like my hair stand up like because how he was moving. I'm like, how the hell? Where in Long Beach, because we live in Long Beach, it became like Sam was this some anomaly that people was hearing about it. Like they would say, oh, it's this guy, he can make his neck turn all the way around. He make his body go 360 degrees, which he was doing Twistle Flex. Right. So just imagine, people don't know, or doing a walkout, his leg can stretch, because Sam can do it low and stretch. They saying, they was doing all, I said, yeah, man. And they didn't know Sam was my brother, so in the neighborhood, people were going, yeah, he do this and do that. Oh, that's my brother. That's your brother? Oh, man. This dude, man, but they ain't never seen him. Even like Robot Dane and Puppet Boots, who became members, they was in another group, a locking group, and they heard about Sam. They battled Sam, and because they were locking the robot, because they thought everybody kept saying, is this some kind of new locking? Right. And when Dane ran up on Sam and called Sam out, Sam ate him up. And he was like this. And I remember he told me, he blurted these words out. He said, it is true. Because people say, man, this dude is doing some incredible stuff. And that's when he said, it is true. Right. I said, wow.
He's already a legend.
Oh, he's already a legend. I was just Boogaloo Sam's little brother. Oh, you Boogaloo Sam's little brother? Yeah. Oh, you Tim. Peter. Because I was Peter at the time. Yeah. So I said, you know what I did? Oh, I don't know how to do that. No. But Sam was, Sam, and I always say this, if it wasn't for Sam, there's no me. Right. If it wasn't for Sam, there's not a lot of people. Right. Sam don't get the credit that he deserves. Whether people try to say, oh, he didn't create this, he didn't do this, but Sam, especially in Long Beach, Compton, Sam name like flew in the way, like everybody started knowing who's Sam. When they challenge him, but when they see that he danced, people like his name started becoming like so high. Like somebody here, if you say, you know, like, who are you? He said, oh, Boogaloo Sam. Oh, okay, I'm cool. Right. I don't want to battle you. I heard about you.
He was It Man.
He was he was It Man. Exactly. He didn't have to until one time I walked into a house party. I'm 16, Sam 19. I'm going to this house party. I don't know too many people. We just moved to this neighborhood at this time. I'm in this telling everybody, my brother can beat everybody in here. Oh. And everybody looking at me. I'm this little skinny kid, probably at that time about 5, 10, 16. Sam just in this quiet. And I said, can't nobody beat my brother. And everybody said, who's your brother? Boogaloo Sam. They were looking like, what is a Boogaloo Sam? Because a lot of people, even though his name was out, a lot of people didn't know. Right. They said, he can't beat Mackie Boy. And I said, who was Mackie Boy? It was this little kid who was my age, 16, who locks. And I said, him? Not, but my voice like, him? I had a high voice, him? Didn't know who the kid was. The guy just sitting on it, and then the house party, sitting on the couch. And then Ohio players came. Ohio,
Yeah.
Ohio. And the dude, they say, get him, Mackie Boy. The crowd.
Right.
Mackie Boy jumped off that sofa with the locket. Choo, 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 choo. You know, locking decent, but for me, it was good. Cause I don't, you know, I'm like, so I'm looking at Sam, saying, ooh, looking at the dude, looking at Sam. Sam was like this. Everybody, Mackie Boy, Kitty Mackie Boy. And I'm saying, I almost want to say, Kitty Mackie Boy, you know, because he was like, oh, this dude was doing a little something. He pointed at Sam. Sam looked, brought his hands down, and started doing his head like this. And I'm looking at Sam like, okay, you doing your head bobbing it like this. And then Sam took off creeping, vibrating. Walked out to the middle of the floor. Stop. Look. And everybody's going like this. Like looking like, what the hell?
Right.
Started popping. Boom, boom, boom. And then Sam could pop hard. Right. Boom, 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 boom. I'm even shocked. Even though I've seen him dance in the bedroom, I'm going like that.
Right.
I said, then I started getting my brain. Yeah. Everybody, literally everybody in the party going like that. And we talking about age range from 15 to 19. It was like this. People going like that.
That's pretty much how I am listening to you tell the story.
And Sam was going. Then he did a move. He did an old man. He went, boom, boom. He put his hand on his stomach and kicked that old man, went across the floor. I was like this because he had never done it at the house. I went there. And everybody was like this. Mackie Boy, one hit a quarter. He said,
right.
Everybody was like, what is that? And as soon as he was finished, I went like this. That bravado kicked in. I told you nobody here gonna be my brother. And Sam became, and that, you know, east side of Long Beach became he was already, his name was floating. That day, he became an instant legend. Everybody started gunning for him because they wanted to see, because people who wasn't there, people trying to explain.
Right.
He did it. Then when his leg went way out, he turned and his body was trembling or making something, and his body was jerking. Then he did some smooth thing with his neck and shoulder. They didn't know.
Right.
And from that point on, even Mackie Boy had to say, hey, I want to learn that. Can I learn that from you?
Right, exactly.
And Sam taught him, then also started dating his sister. Yes, that's what you did.
So, you've had, I mean, we could sit here for weeks and hear your stories and on top of stories. But something that I thought was very humbling of you to let us into your life when we have this social media thing now. And I thought to myself, like, more people need to watch Pete right now. They need to pay attention to Pete. And that was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but what was that like for you? What reality were you dealing with in that transition from probably traveling and doing your thing to like
when all this stopped, everything stopped? So in the beginning, as we was unsure, thinking, I'm gonna get back to traveling, because I had a gig in January in Thailand, and they hit me up. The organizer hit me up saying they had bought the tickets and everything. They said, "Oh, there's something going on in China, but we don't know." So they letting us. He said we may have to cancel, but I'm not sure. 2 days later, I was supposed to leave the next day. They said they just closed the borders and something is going on. I said, what's happening?
Right.
You know, because there wasn't a lot of, it was some news. It was the only thing. Because again, this is like, I was supposed to leave January 4th. Right. And they started telling me, and they said, something called the COVID-19 or something cool. I said, what is that? Cause I was just in China, in December of the prior year. It happened, again, you kind of like, okay, it's something, it's going to open again.
Right.
And when it didn't, I had to make, money now, because now by this time it's 3 months into the pandemic.
Right.
Nobody's working. So the money that I had, I'm helping family, I'm helping myself. I got to pay my rent, pay the rent at my, at the house. Ex-wife had to help pay that, and had help whomever. I'm trying to it's going to open up. I get, I'm start making money again. They say, no, money gone. Cause I'm, I need 3,000, need 4. Can you help me? Yeah. I'll give it back to you when I start working. Cool. And then, sitting up, contemplating, like, what the hell? And I'm like, what am I going to do? And I started looking around, rent, all this stuff. Then you got to find a job. So I started looking, I was going to do the driving thing, but I didn't want nobody in my car, because that's, and out the mask and all this shit. Nope, we ain't doing that. So I went and signed up for a tip service. And I'm going like, it pays $15, $12 an hour. You're going to go clean up because events, because, you still have to have a mask, but events are still happening.
Right.
And it was at UNLV at the state, at the arena. They still doing basketball, rodeos, and whatever else. They said, when they said, we got a job for you, is to clean up, the cleaning crew to clean up the arena. But it starts at 2 a.m. And I sat there and the people called me and said, all right, get up, went, sign in. And I'm going like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Got into the arena, and here's a broom, here's a mop, and then this crew, you're gonna take this row, this section, this section. And we had to, so if I'm on, G, whatever. So I had to clean that 2 rows all the way around.
The whole thing.
So you had to you had to pick up all the trash and people, whatever. Then you sweep, and then you go back to mop. So you got soda, throw up, whatever else you got. So you do that. So by the time I got out of there, it started at 2. I get out at about 8. It's dark. So I do about 8 hours. I was there. I did that job for about 3 weeks. And I'm sitting there going, and these people have no idea who I am.
Right.
And this man said, hey man, you know about this app called Instawork? I said, nah, because I was going through some temp thing. He said, just sign up. It is. Then I went on my phone, signed up there, and then a couple of weeks they started sending me jobs. So I started working conventions, cleaning up conventions at downtown. So all that stuff was still, because again, we still had to wear masks. And I did that from 2021 to 2023.
Wow.
And that's when I'll put up videos of me dancing at the place.
Yeah.
And people used to hit me and say, man, this is embarrassing for you. You supposed to be a legend. You out here working. I said, let me explain something to you. The persona that you see as Poppin Pete, he's the one who goes overseas and teaches and judge and all that. No one is calling Poppin Pete. I have to go and get a job for Timothy Earl Solomon. So when I go down there and put on the application or sign up, it doesn't say Poppin Pete, the Electric Boogaloos. It says Timothy Earl Solomon. So Poppin Pete was taking care of Timothy Earl Solomon for many years, because that's my persona.
Right.
Working on the Timothy working down at IKEA or all these places is not gonna it take care of Timothy.
Mm-hmm.
Poppin Pete makes more money than Timothy because of the skill. I'm locked into a system of you. Here's your hourly wage of 13, 14, $18 an hour.
Right.
Poppin Pete can say, I want $1,000 for a workshop. I want this. I want that. And to perform, I want this. I can't go to this regular job and go, hey, look, for sweeping up the hallway, I want 600. If I take out the trash, that's another this. I'm stuck in the thing. So Timothy had to take care of Poppin Pete because Poppin Pete couldn't do a damn thing for Timothy. So I had to, the thing is I had to adjust I'm working for $13, $14 an hour, 8-hour day. I made $98 for 8 hours. 8 hours of Timothy.
No.
We're making 6,000 if I do that many classes. But it didn't bother me because Timothy understands these hourly wages. If someone said they making $20 or $25 an hour, that's a lot of money in that realm of hourly wages. You said, I'm making $200 or $230 a day. Oh, that's money. So when I adjusted that way, this is how I got through it, because I said, Timothy Earl Solomon, you need to take care of Poppin Pete until Poppin Pete gets back on, I'll be able to get out here and work again. It's your responsibility. And I got my black up every day. I did not miss a day of work. I was in there, scraping up, tape, because the conventions I had to break down the thing. When I started working at IKEA, I was a custodian. I was in the bathrooms cleaning mirrors, crap off of toilets, mopping. If dogs, they allow dogs in IKEA, and their dog crap in one of the areas. My walkie-talkie, there's a dog spilled on and upstairs in bedding. I got my cart, and I said, on my way. Got my cart, go up there, got my bio stuff, spray it, make sure, put sprinkler stuff on there, sweep it up in the thing, dump it in the thing, spray it again, put the cone on, say don't step until it's dry, and go into the bathroom and clean up. Did that for a year. Every day. Where I became a lead. They trusted me to open, like, okay, you're going to close the store. You don't own it. There's all the managers, all the other supervisors gone. I am the lead. Everybody has to come to me for everything. Right. Even the store, even the store, because we work for a separate company, but they had hey, who's the lead? I am. Okay, this is this and that. They had to talk to me about anything, and I tell everybody what to do. And they wanted me to be a manager, but then I got that call 2023. I started in 2021. Right. 2023, China opened back up. And I said to my manager, who was the coolest lady, I gotta go. She said, well, I said, give her my 2 weeks notice. She said, oh, you quitting? Yeah. I gotta go to China to work. She said, oh, why? I said, I'm a dancer. And she was like, because they only know me as Tim. Right. And then I had to show the videos. Nobody knew, only a few people knew at the end what I'd done. Right. Show the video. She was like, and you work here? She saw the video. And you wait. I said, because of the pandemic. She said, oh, I get it. She said, oh, I commend you. She said, for what I'm seeing. And actually, when I said, I showed the Soul Train, she said, I've heard of y'all. She's like 50. So she said, my husband, who is a white guy, he used to break dance. And I heard him say your name. I said, what? She said, wait till I go home and tell him. You gave people some stories. Yeah, I gave people some stories, and that's the day. And then it's so funny because she said, wait, you just need, I said, I'm going to go for 2 months tour. She said, so you want me to, because I was a good worker. Yeah. She said, I'll give you 2 months off and you can come back. I said, there's no coming back. I said, it's been a blast working here. And I truly appreciate, I went to the store the other day, and some of the people who that was there when I was there, they was like, they said, "Oh my God, now they found out what I did." They said, right. How was you working here? I said, survival, and I said, I'm not arrogant. Yeah. I'm humble. I had to take care of my family, take care of me. So that's why. So that was very humbling, also in China. I know I'm talking a lot. In China, when I went back, a lot of the dancers in China, they were like this. You're the reason why I got through the pandemic. They said, when I see your video of you working and you was like, yeah, I'm at the job. I'm doing that. And it made a lot of them go get regular jobs. He said, but I also, I know of a lot of famous dancers who said they wouldn't do it. Broke.
Yeah.
Borrowing money from not trying to, I'm going, are y'all kidding me?
This is why I said it was important. Like I gave you kudos as soon as I saw it. I'm like that, because there's a lot of people who their ego will not allow them to be seen in no other way. And I'm like, nah, this ain't that moment. And I was like, that's a dose of reality that gives people strength, that teaches people a different way to view hardship. And what would you say is like that experience taught you?
To be humble, to be, my father instilled in us, he said, no matter, because even during the times back when I was younger in the industry, it wasn't always work. It was sometimes we would do a job, do a TV show and file for unemployment, because of that job because they fired us, we quit, and we were getting $43 every 2 weeks. What I'm about to say, a lot of people didn't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I told you, bro, even during the time of the pandemic, right? I remember sitting up, and I was in my room and I was like, no money. This is before. Now, this is before. I tell you, like, I got up, and so I'm sitting there, and it felt like the walls were starting to close in on me, right? And I'm sitting like, and I started shaking, and it was like, but my mind was going, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? And then in my head, I was like it was like one side of my brain was going, dude, I'm tired of this. This is like and I had a mental breakdown. I had a like I could not, and I couldn't. Like one side of my brain is saying, fight. What are you doing? Other brain said, this is some bull. Give up. What you doing? This is not. And I'm talking about, I sat there in my room, nervous breakdown. Like I had to force myself into the shower, cold, fully clothed, and I'm balled up I'm balled up in the bath with the shower hitting me, and I'm fighting, and I'm saying, and I'm calling for my mother. She passed. Mama, help me. I was like, if I had a gun, I was going to end it, because I couldn't take it. It taken every ounce. I mean, I call them skeet. I'm not a religious person. I call them ancestors. I'm calling on my mother, my father, Steve. Can we do this? I don't know what to do. I had no money. Like I went to my bank. I had probably like 30,000, at the end of the prior year. It said I had negative $1,000. And I was couldn't eat. I asked my sister to save me. She gave me $3,000, which I'm very proudful, because I'm always a provider. It took me a long time to ask her. So, but that day, and there was I had to self-help myself, because there was no places open, you could go to it. So I had to get online and look for online therapy and exercises and things that I had to do. But I was literally in my room, and my son was in his room. He didn't know, because I didn't tell no one. I didn't call no one. And I was sitting there and I'm talking about, it felt like all hope was gone. I even, taking my knee, this was all within the time before the break. I thought because I have a big habit of not checking my bank account because if it's below, I get, going to this thing. So I take him, say, I'll take you out to dinner, go eat. I gave him my card. That's when I found out that, and after they just swiped it, it was like $90. The man said, "Oh, you came back, your card not working." I said, "Oh, I'm pretty sure I got money." And my little niece is sitting there. So I said, "Oh, wait, let me go outside." So I walked outside, called my bank. This bank account is a negative $1,000. I screamed. I was on the side of the building screaming, crying, like, it's embarrassing to me. Came back in there and I looked at my niece and I said, I can't pay you. And my niece she had just got money because she was in college in UNLV. So she had got a little money. She said, "Oh, Uncle, I'll pay." I said, I'll pay you back. Don't worry, I'll pay you back. And it was like sitting there. And that's when I went home, and a few days later, I was like done. And I never told that story, know a lot of people. I mean, I've never told it publicly. So, but, but it was, I got through it because it was I had to self-help myself.
Right.
I went online and trying to figure it out, and got some online help that for free. I said, because they knew, because a lot of, therapists and people were doing stuff pro bono and free because they knew that people were going, well, I didn't know it was going to hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, then that's when I got the job at IKEA. And that's why I was there every day. That's why I was only making enough money, not even barely cover rent, not to cover my insurance on my car or my card payment, my monthly payment, or my utilities.
Yeah.
I had to do, I would go from working at the conventions straight to food deliveries. Before I go home, I do 3 hours of food delivery, try to make up the difference of stuff. So I don't want to get too deep. I'm sorry.
No, dude, it's like in those moments, we have a tendency not to share stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, like other people are going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And you need that one or two or few people to let the rest of us know, like, now you can make it. You need something. And even in that struggle, the fact that the strength of you as an individual, you sought the help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't somebody else trying, like, you need to get you, even in your most, down moment, it was like, this is not it. I can't. And you calling on who you need to call on. And we need to see that to know, like, yeah, that's the way. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah. So whether you're guiding people in the dance, you were still a beacon of light to be a guide in the moment of struggle. And you're taking the brunt of it, but it's like showing a lot of people, like, humble yourself. You can get through it. Yeah. And in these moments, you like the joy of, man, I got a gig. Because just the other, I didn't.
Yeah.
And,
all that.
Right. So all it's that. Like, the struggle is real for everybody, and finding the happiness, the joy of being here to even go through a crazy struggle.
Oh, yeah.
And come out on the other side.
It's a process.
Yes.
And this is why I use that word, say it to everyone who's going through something, whether they're going through relationships or I said, and I tell them the truth, not everybody's going to make it through the struggle, through the process. But, whatever it is, again, cause I can't say this, was it Skeeter Rabbit, what happened to him? I had another best friend that, committed suicide. He couldn't make it, you know what I'm saying? And all that weighed on, all that was doing around the same time. Not with Skeet, but with my other friend, best friend. And it's a process. I know only reason why I made it because I had not had that. I don't have guns in my house.
Right.
And I say that honestly. Probably if I did, ready available, the easiest thing was to say, hey, I don't want this pain.
Yeah.
But, and again, I'm an atheist. I don't believe, but I believe in me and I believe my ancestry. My mom, I call on my mama faster than I call on anybody else. Whether it's real or dead. What helps me in me is or my father or anyone else who helped me. That's what I call.
Okay.
I don't call on
the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't call on invisible things. I call on something that I knew that was there for me in the physical. That said, Ski Rabbit was there for me on breakups and with women. My mama there when mama, can you send me $200? Because I'm like, I don't call on no one else. I can't. I give no one else the praise. That's my praises to my mama, my daddy. That's it. And I don't care what people say. My praises to them. They the ones who provide for me. They the ones who gave me. I don't do the, if it was, no, that's a whole nother conversation because like I said, that's, because when someone says, Pete, I need you, they ain't calling on somebody else. Right. I'm the one who going like in my bank account going, hey, here's $1,000 to get you through. Yeah. I can't give praise to nobody else. Nobody. I did that work. Right. I've struggled. I got out here with these bad knees and ankles and dancing to make a way for me. In that case, I could just sit up and somebody just hand me money through my bank automatically because I just exist. You gotta get up. You gotta take care of yourself because ain't nobody else gonna take care of you but yourself. Anyway, that's
how you take care of other people.
That's how you take care of other people. And they don't, nobody they call on me. Pete, I need you. They don't call on any other deity and say, Pete, call Pete and ask Pete to give me $1,000. They hit me. Hey, can you help me today? I'm hungry. Can you help me? Yeah, if I got it, I got it. If I don't have it, they go call on that other thing and see if they gonna give it to you. Right. I'm real about that. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole other interview.
That's a whole nother interview.
But anyway. And closing out.
You ain't gotta put that in.
Anything that
dance with love.
There you go.
This is the thing. This is what I'm gonna tell you guys. People always ask me, what's the advice I give to people, dancers or anyone, especially in dance or entertainment? There's a reason why. Now, money can be involved, but you have to love something to do something, to do it well enough to start getting paid. Or even if it's not about the pay, it's about just the connection and the love of it. When I first saw Poppin and Boogaloo and some of my brother dance, I fell in love with the movement, the feeling of it. And that 16-year-old Pete who fell in love with that dance in 1978 is the spirit of Poppin Pete that carries it at me at 64. The reason why I get up with bad kneecaps, arthritis, back, and go into these studios and dance for 10 hours, 8 hours, teach, because I love what I do. The love of it makes me go. Money is going to be there, but I can turn down money. If I can't do it, if I don't love it, I don't do it. And people say, well, some people out here just do it because of the money. Yeah, that's true. But they don't get no enjoyment out of it. I get an inner enjoyment out of it. That monetary is going to be there because I do my job. That's a job. But the passion is the reason why I go out and do that job. So keep the love of whatever you do. Bring that with you from the time you begin to the time you end.
Yeah. Brother man. I appreciate you so much doing this first interview for Intangible Roots. And,
yeah, that's 30, 45 minutes was not that, was it? I knew it. That's what I said. Well, you wrote that. Oh, what is it? Got to sign something? A contract?
Yep, it's contract.
Thank you for listening.